Hey everyone, Tony Walsh here. Welcome back to the channel and another edition of what I've started just calling What's New on the Farmstead. Well, first I want to shout out to my good subscribers, and that is Mickey Bell Roberts, the African Lion, and Ed Gosselin from Gosselin Farms. And why am I shouting them out? It's because they are always bragging about how much rain they get. Not really, they're not bragging, they're complaining. So I just want to give them a big fat because last night they say we only got 4.5 inches, but it had to be more than that. So if you remember in a video a couple weeks back, I talked about why we need four-wheel drives or SUVs with all-wheel drive or front-wheel drive or something like that, because our dirt roads are a mess. So let me just show you our roads. Now, sorry for the reflection if you see one, but this is the shortest way to the farmstead, the place where we're moving, where Jackie's mama currently resides. And we normally don't go this way just because the road will beat you to death. We usually go around it. So our niece Kelsey and Joey and their daughters and son, you've seen them on videos before, they live right there. So you can see how slick this gets. This is pure clay, and it gets slicker than owl snot. And if you ain't careful, even in a four-wheel drive, if the tail end comes out from under you, you can be down in the little ditch. So I'm going to back up and we're going to go around the longer way. And it's not that long, but it is a longer way. Okay, I had to pause you while I backed back up the hill. And it was spinning backing up the hill, but I didn't have to put it in four-wheel drive. So we're actually just going, it's only a couple hundred yards this way and another 100 yards the other way. And this is what I showed you the other day. And right here is still not too bad. It's slick, so you have to be careful because it's old Georgia clay mixed with sand. Get this corner turned right here. And there's still water over the road. And this is 9 hours later. But the water was actually all the way up here this morning. You can see it in the woods over there. You can see the ditch there is still full. So why the county won't fix these dips, it's like anything else. Sorry for the bouncing there, but these are bouncing roads. But at least it has a hard bottom. That's the good thing. You know, and it's only about maybe, I'd say, 7 or 8 inches deep. But you can see where, to the left-hand side, I don't know if you can tell. It's still muddy. Now, if I'd have went straight through, it would have come out right there. You can see the water way down there, so it's not that much farther. But this road gets better taken care of than that little short piece does. See, all this was underwater this morning, so 9 hours later, you know, half of it's dried up. But there's a big drainage ditch right here that goes down the edge of Nana's property and Cousin Dane's property. You can see right there, and it has overgrown, and I'll talk about that more in a moment. Look, you can see Nana out here by the trash can. Also, in that video a couple weeks ago, I showed you this right here, and if you remember, there was a turtle swimming across the road and another one behind me at the edge of the field. So we're in that same location, but look at the water coming out right here. This is definitely, now we don't have a rain gauge here, and I took the one down from the house, so reports are 4.5 inches, but again, 9 hours later, you see how much water is flowing right there. So let me zoom back out. You can see how it's all coming out of the pond. So I'm gonna try to find me a shallow spot to get across here and show you the pond. I don't know if you can hear that, but that water is going. You remember I said a couple weeks ago, I would love to have a house next to that pond right there, but I said the septic tanks wouldn't work. Well, now you see why the septic tanks won't work. And a couple weeks ago, I showed you the pond overflow, and obviously it is not keeping up because you saw what I just had to wade through. So I'm afraid to go look at the garden, but no sense denying the inevitable, so let's go look at the garden. Well, we've got 3 duck houses out there, duck nests. You can see one to the right, one to the far left, and one close up to the right. And it looks like the one at the right, the thing for the snakes, to keep the snakes from getting up there, is gone. In the nest, looks like it has fallen over, so I didn't notice that last week. I'll have to get out here and check that out. But if you can see right, my finger up there. Where's my finger? There's my finger. Well, I can't even see the duck now. He's done went behind the pole. But there's a duck swimming around out there. He's got plenty of water. And this is one of the reasons why we went to container gardening in this spot right here anyways, because you can see this field is wet, and or this area of this field is wet, and I'll show you why in just a second. But it looks like the garden fared fairly well during the storm last night. Let's see, I see one right there that took a beating, like one right there. But for the most part, everything looks fairly decent. If you remember when I was driving up, I was talking about that ditch between Nana's property and Cousin Dane's. The water from this field has a hard time running off because I have to get them woods cleared out, because that ditch is right on the other side of them trees. If I can ever get that cleared out, then this water can drain off. So once we get moved over here, that'll obviously be a big project for us. But squash and zucchini's doing good. A few taters on the other side. The hills is gone, so I got to get them healed back up. But the tomatoes in the buckets doing decent. And I don't know what half of this stuff is. See, I have no clue what she's got planted there. I know that's garlic there. Got my favorite lettuce there, and I know that's some peppers and tomatoes and all that over there. But I'm ready for the lettuce, the celery, and the tomatoes. I really don't care much about the peppers. Onions, so-so. Jalapenos is definitely a no for me. But John loves jalapeno candy and cowboy candy, whatever you want to call it. So, I have some worms here in my green stalk. So let me get them bad boys out of there. And the worms are now in a good home in the lettuce bed, and it didn't take them long for them to get underground. One thing I haven't talked about very much is this mulberry tree right here. because I've never really concentrated on it. And the reason why is since we don't live here, mulberries, when they are ready, the birds here love them. And these things have to be picked every day, because just like a blackberry, if you don't, it'll fall off and hit the dirt. So again, we haven't concentrated on it very much. And you can see this thing is loaded to the hilt with mulberries. I just picked a cup here, so it's not enough to make any jelly or syrup or anything like that, but they will taste good in a bowl of cereal or just in a bowl with some milk and sugar. So that's it for the what's up this week on the farmstead. Usually I post these on Mondays, but I'm gonna go ahead and post this on Thursday evening, so whenever you see it, it won't be there for Monday. So now I got to figure out something else to do for Monday's video time slot. But until we get back together, y'all take care, stay safe, and God bless.